Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sheila and I have a very exciting video to show you today. Today I am going to show you the very first art journal that I have ever made. So let's get started. World, meet Celestia. Celestia was born in August of 2024. She's 10 inches tall and approximately 7 inches wide, if I remember correctly. And her spine, before I loaded her with treasures, was approximately 2.5 or 3 inches wide. I'm not sure how much she weighs. She's got a little weight to her. I was going to try to weigh her on the bathroom scales, but the scales are not working at the moment. Originally, Celestia had 200 pages. I removed approximately 20 pages before I started. I have since learned from various junk journal and artists on YouTube that it's best to remove at least half of the pages when making these kinds of books. But I don't mind that she's a little bit thick. She is just loaded with goodies, lace and paper and fabric and all kinds of things, lots of dangles. I'm very excited to show her to you. She was made as a gift for a beloved family member. And she's, like I said, she's full of treasures, so come along with me. Here we go. So the closure is removable. Just some fabric and lace and this really pretty purple trim. This pin on the front, I believe I found at Joann Fabrics. By the way, all you crafters out there, all you sewers, it's my understanding that Joann Fabrics is going out of business. So if you have something special that you get at Joann's, you might want to stock up. So like I said, the closure is removable. It's been sewn to this beautiful purple lace, which is just gorgeous. So open her up. And then we'll move the closure out of the way. All right. So this book, the base of this book, is a handmade journal that I found on Amazon. The person who made the journal included a leaflet in the back of the journal when it was sent to me. And it describes his love of making handmade books. Originally, I was going to cover the entire cover, but my friend Heather suggested that I leave it as is because it has such a nice sort of vintage feel. This book is very eclectic. When I was making it, I kept thinking about boho journals. So this is kind of an eclectic boho travelers type journal. And when I say traveler, I mean traveler of both time and space. And now the inside, the first page. This book is organized into 5 sections, if you will. The word that is used to describe the sections in bookmaking are called signatures. There's 5 of them total. In the beginning here, I just attached some really neat lunar scrapbooking paper. Made a little pocket. I used staples in this particular situation. I also made this really cute little passport. It's a celestial passport. You can see that I've added a little Libra charm to the front of it. Again, this is just scrapbook paper that I pasted onto a really cheap notebook that probably came from the dollar store in a pack of 5 or something. And I've just attached a couple different fabrics. There's a gold wax seal underneath that was in my stash. And then this purple seal, which has a moon and a sun on it, was the very first wax seal that I've ever made. There is a learning curve with this, so I'm still trying to work on that skill. Go ahead and take the closure off. Inside cover, we have Celestia's name, because this is her passport. Found this really cute decorative frame. I thought it would look really cool there as a nameplate. What I've done to the inside pages is distress them using distress inks. And I believe I also used some acrylic paint in the process. There are multiple pages. I just played around with some stenciling and, as I said, some distress ink. You can see the stars in that. That's one of my favorite sections of this one. I'm really pleased with how my stenciling came out on this one. I love the mix of the purple and the turquoise. I just think that's really cool. On this page, I did a little bit of a brighter kind of a background, again with the stenciling. I played around with some gray ink on this one. And then in the back, I just took some tickets for like a raffle or whatever, and they're originally red, and I just distressed them with some purple ink to make them look kind of worn. Like I said, this book, one of the things that inspired me to do this book is boho style and Traveler of Time and Space, which, by the way, is a reference to Led Zeppelin's Kashmir song, if you're into Led Zeppelin. All right, the first section is called To Create. These are little vintage flashcards. So on one side, it's the phrase in English, or the word in English, and on the other side is the word in Spanish. So this first section is To Create. Did some cool stenciling here. I really like how the tree came out. There's a tree on the front of each of the 5 signatures. I've also attached this lace, which feels really old. I don't know if it's vintage or not. I think my friend Heather probably shared it with me at some point. And that is on the first page of each of the signatures as well, just to kind of divide the book up. In the beginning of the book, I have left multiple pages blank so that the recipient can do whatever she wants to on these pages. Right now I just have them paper clipped together. She can draw on them. She can journal on them. She can paint on them. This paper is made out of what they call Egyptian cotton, I believe. So it will stand up to paint and glue and all kinds of mixed media. Again, just some blank pages for her. This page is kind of fun. As you all remember, there was a solar eclipse last year, and these are the glasses that I had gotten to wear to check out the solar eclipse. I just thought it was perfect, kind of in the front of this book with all these celestial things. I also have a little sample of upholstery that came in a sample pack, and I just repurposed it here. The title on it is Aerial Eclipse, so I thought it was perfect for this page. This ribbon was actually originally probably 3 or 4 times the length that it is now. And what I did was I just ripped it up. And what I did was I gave a piece to my family member. And when I gave her this book, and I kept a piece for myself, and when I gave her this book, I just suggested that when she goes on a trip somewhere, she could tie it on her luggage so that her luggage stands out in the airport at the baggage claim, and that I would do the same thing for her. And that way, when we travel, we are thinking of each other and just remembering how much we care for each other. We have some more blank pages. I put a little paint chip in here just to inspire her if she wants to use these colors or not. Again, she can do whatever she wants with these blank pages that I've left for her. She can rip them out if she wants to. She can rip half of it out if she wants to. She can use it as a to-do list, whatever she wants. This is her book. She gets to do whatever she wants with it. This is a really fun page. This is some old sewing pattern that I got out of a Simplicity envelope. This one happens to be for a little girl. And I came across this pink ribbon when I was shopping my stash for items for this book, and I just thought this would go great on this page. All right, we made it through the first signature, and now we're on to the second. The second part of the book is called To Grow. Another stencil tree, another bit of that fabric lace. We have a little ribbon that has some measurements printed on it. We have some fun cards. These are bee related. They came out of a book that I had regarding bees. Fun little paper clip that I altered. All I did was glue this yellow flower on it. I don't know, can you see it? It's in shot now, better. Little plastic yellow flower that I glued, and it just added a little something there. I am very proud of this 2-page spread. This is just yellow polka dot lace. This image reminded me of my family member when she was very young. And so that's part of the reason I've included it here. On this side, we have a bunch of fun things. We have a little dictionary description, bloom. I found this little piece of paper that was, I believe it was art that somebody sent me in a Happy Mail. And they said I could use it for whatever I want, so I folded it up and made it a little mini book. And we've got some sunflowers here. From the paint section, this one came from, I believe, like Home Depot or maybe Walmart. And then I've also placed a coloring sheet in here for her of half of a sun. There's a quote on the back. Take pride in how far you have come and have faith in how far you can go. Another bit of paint chip here with fun names, Sunflower, Goldenrod, and Butterfield. Some fun buttons. I think these are vintage buttons. My mother gave me a jar of buttons that she had, and I think there might have been some of her mother's buttons in there. There's also this cute, another paper clip, a fun paper clip that I glued a flower on. And I added a little bit of white trim, white ribbon, sorry. So that's fun. And this is a little paper scroll. And all I did was I cut these into strips of paper, and then I just rolled them up. This one happens to be blank on the inside. All total, there are 12 of these scrolls inside this book. Some of them are hidden, and some of them are obvious, like this one, which is, you know, paper clipped right to the front of the page. Okay, this is a 2-page spread that I pretty much spent an entire morning on, but it was so much fun. There's a little bookmark attached here. It's got some sari silk that has been torn up, and a little sun and moon charm that she can use as a bookmark. What I did was I attached it to the leather strips that are holding the book together so that she can put it on whatever page she likes. I was very inspired on the Saturday morning that I was making this, and I made this extra little booklet. Here's another altered paper clip that I made with some ribbon. This booklet was fun. I can't even remember what the base of it was. Oh, I remember now. This is just paper that I pulled a jelly print with using gold acrylic paint and black acrylic paint and a stencil. And I got this really neat effect. I'm brand new at jelly plate use. CERI the Crafter, that's CERI the Crafter on YouTube, is an amazing jelly plate artist. And that's where I first heard of jelly plates, and I fell in love. And it's high time I got that back out to start playing with that again. I've just added some lace and some dangles and a little bee, little paper flower that's a little bit smushed, but I kind of like that effect. A little bit more lace. I think I cut this doorknob plate out of like a Sherwin-Williams paint sample book or something like that. Or maybe out of a magazine, but it feels like heavy, so I think it was from Sherwin-Williams book. The inside, I've attached some writing paper for her so that she can write notes in here. She could also list songs that she likes, or maybe put some of her favorite quotes. When you open it up all the way, it is this writing paper, and if you're of a certain age, you remember this writing paper from elementary school when we were first learning how to print and write in cursive. Just added a little lace in the middle. So that's that one. There's a couple other goodies in here. Here is one of those English, Spanish flashcards, to be, which in Spanish is ser. I think I'm saying that right. What I did with these is I tried an experience for the first time I ever tried to tea dye something. So that's how these colors got soaked into the card. This is just a fun little card. It's just backed with black scrapbook paper, a piece of dictionary with some art on it, and there's a little bit of music under there with a little button. This little fella is a wine bottle label that I've made into a pocket. The background of these two pages, which I'm going to show you here, the background of these two pages was some old sheet music that I found in a vintage book. And I also tore up some other scrapbook paper that kind of went around along with the color scheme here. And what I did was I used a honeycomb stencil. So a hexagon honeycomb kind of stencil. And then I just used a brush to put a few different color of ink on here, distress inks. Came out really well. This is a little paper gold emblem that my friend gave me. This is kind of a fun thing. This envelope started out as a completely white envelope. It was just plain old white square envelope. And what I did was I covered it with a jelly print, again, from my Adventures in Jelly plate. And added some scrapbook paper. I glued on this random flower that's been in my stash forever. Did a little distressing on the inside. And there is a super cute little card in here. And it's got a really pretty embossed bee. It's just a blank card. And so she can do whatever she wants with that. If she wants to give this card to a friend of hers to encourage them, or if she wants to give it to her mother for Mother's Day, or if she just wants to keep it and, you know, do some journaling in it, something, she can do whatever she wants. I'm just going to put these things back in so I can maintain some kind of order on my filming desk. Oops, doesn't go there. This page was super fun. I don't know if you've ever heard of a book called Inspiration Sandwich, but it's a super fun book, and it's all about inspiring your creativity. It's written by Sark, that's S-A-R-K. Just a little cute little butterfly envelope. And I love the card is shaped like a butterfly. It's just a blank card. Again, she could use this as a card for a gift if she's given someone a birthday gift, or whatever she wants to do with it. She could also use it as a stencil. At one point, I tore apart a bunch of these butterfly cards and I laid them on a piece of paper and I just inked around them, and they left beautiful shadows on the paper that I was using. It was really pretty. This is fun. This is like a little embellishment that you can iron on. It's a little kind of old-fashioned camper. It kind of makes me think of the Jetsons, if you are old enough to know who the Jetsons are. But it also kind of has like a 60s, 70s kind of hippie kind of feel. And I thought she would think that was fun. Little owl paper clip made out of felt. Little baby. It's a little baby paper clip. It's not very big. All right, then we have some more blank pages for her to do whatever she likes. This is some white butterfly trim. I had made a book for my mother one year, and it was a butterfly theme. It was yellow, and it had a lot of butterflies in it. And my mom really likes the symbol of the white butterfly. So again, I told my family member that. So that's another little special touch. This is a fun thing that I took out of that Sark book. It's called How to Be an Artist. And it just has this little write-up. Super cute. Another owl paperclip. Another page that's blank. This is the size of a postcard, 4x6. And my friend who has a sewing machine sewed this trim to it for me. This was also another paper that I made with my gel plate and some black and turquoise acrylic paint and this really neat stencil. Some stitching on the back. She can do whatever she wants with it. She could put a heavier piece of white paper on the back and give it to someone as a card, or she could put some lined paper on here and use it as a journaling spot. I don't yet have a sewing machine. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to get one and start playing around with that. I might be. But for now, my friend Heather helps me out with little bits of sewing when I need help now and then. All right. This page, okay, if I had to choose, probably my most favorite page in this whole journal, this would be it. There are so many goodies on this page. Where do I even start? I love this raised lace. There's a whole bunch of, well, let me tell you about the pocket. So I found this really heavy. It's like somewhere between a lace and fabric. It's really heavy material. It's kind of stiff. I found it at a Salvation Army thrifting store. And so I got quite a bit of it for like pennies. And so what I've done here is I've glued the outside edges and the bottom to create two pockets. This one probably needs to be glued again. So I'll do that before I give the book back to her. And then I placed a lot of goodies in both of these pockets. I also have these really fun peacock earrings. And there's also a little earring down here with an eye on it. I want to say it's called the Eye of Horus. Someone help me out with that. Little paper flowers with some little pearl embellishments. Let's get to the goodies. Some buttons glued on here. This is a piece of recycled wallpaper that I have glued to a embossed purple paper. This is a postcard that I made. I made a number of postcards last year, and I actually sold some at a craft fair that I went to. This one I've left with the black on the back, but she could easily add a white card stock kind of paper, white scrapbook paper on the back, and you can literally send them in the mail. I have special envelopes that are clear that you put the stamp on the outside, and it's just a really fun piece of mail to get in your mailbox. This is a bit of music score paper. I think that I'm saying that right. Little paper flower with a little bedazzle on it. And it's just blank inside. Again, she can do whatever she likes with that space. Here are some vintage buttons. I'm pretty sure they're vintage. Maybe. It says Streamline on it. And these 3 really pretty turquoise buttons are for $1.10. Made in Garden City, New York. Or Holland. Aqua. I just thought it was neat that they were still on the card. So I just put them in there. Again, she can leave them as is. She can write on the back if she wants. She could take them off and sew them to something, whatever she wants. This is a fun little booklet that I made. This started out life as a regular piece of turquoise scrapbook paper. And what I did was I ran it through my paper embossing machine, which is a machine that you just crank the handle and it embosses the paper using these special plastic folders. And I just included a little pair of earrings in there. I just stapled that. I just put them on the paper and stapled the paper right to the inside. Little surprise for her. By the way, she has already seen this book. I always give the books to the recipients before I film them, just so it doesn't spoil the surprise. And on this side, we have a lot of fun stuff. Again, some more embossed paper that I made with my embosser. I distressed the edges of this pretty purple or pretty turquoise paper. You can also see some ink along the edge up here. I was trying out the Ranger Distress ink for the very first time, and it's in a spray bottle, and a lot came out. Way more than I was expecting. So I had to do a bit of cleanup, soaked into some of the other pages. So that was quite a learning experience, but that's what art's all about, right? Trying things, experimenting things, being brave. A lot of times the accidents you make in art ends up being something beautiful. All right, here's another jelly plate print that I pulled using purple acrylic ink in that stencil. This is a postcard that I made last summer. I took this image out of an Egyptian encyclopedia, an encyclopedia about Egyptian culture and history. And if you look closely, you can see that there's quite a bit of turquoise and probably some white and some purple kind of splatters on it. And what I did, how I got that effect was, when I was using the jelly plate, I would clean off the brayer, which is the tool that you use for your jelly plate. And this happened to be sitting on the table at the time I was cleaning up. And I just took that brayer and I rolled over the image, and it gave me this really cool effect. So that was really fun. This is a little button card. It says Doodlebug Design Ink. And it's just got a little description and barcode on the back, but it could be a fun little bookmark or something for her. I am also very proud of this. This was another Saturday where I was really in the flow. And I took just a regular piece of paper and I did the jelly plate. This one has a splash of gold on it, but it's mostly black and white and gray with a little bit of gold. And I added some of that heavy duty lace. Added a paper flower. And I distressed everything. Created this little booklet. This emblem has been in my stash a while. I can't remember who gave it to me. Little book inside, or a little folder, if you will. There is a quote here, and it's glued inside, but if you move it, you can read it. It says, "You are part of all that surrounds you. Your connection to the beauty and mystery of life." And then I put a little bit of the extra trim that I had in my stash for her. She can do whatever she wants with it. find a use for it in her artwork. She's an incredible artist. She has taught herself so many things, a lot of it on YouTube. She is just incredible. Just checking on the time. I think we're good. All right. This is another 2-page spread that I have left for her to do with whatever she wants. I had somehow come across these purple plastic petals. I don't remember where they came from, if they came off an actual fake flower that someone gave me. I can't remember. And then again, some more of this lace. I was happy to glue down the petals on the edge of the page, and I was undecided about this purple rose trim. So all I've done here is I paper clipped it, so she can remove that if she doesn't like it, and she can do something else on the petals or just leave the petals as is. So as you can see, some of these pages are completely finished, some of them are partially finished, some of them I've started for her, and some of them are completely blank. Some more blank pages. Dogs are a miracle with paws. I have a lot of dog lovers in my life. They are miracles with paws. All right. The next section is called To Kiss. Blank pages. A little bit of trim that came off some bit of clothing, likely from the thrift store. This is some, started out life as a white or a cream lace, and I coffee dyed it one day just to see how coffee dyeing would do with it, and I really like how they came out. Some more of the coffee dyed lace. There are a lot of dangles. I do hope that I remember to show you all of them at the end. This is one of the dangles I really like. This is just a piece of fabric that automatically just rolls up by itself. I have no idea what it's made of. But if you cut it thin enough, it just rolls by itself. And what I did here was I attached some purple dangles to it. And a little bit of music, sheet music. Another bookmark that she can use, unless she wants to use it for something else. More blank pages. This page is started. I had this fun Valentine's Day trim in my stash, so I used some of that up. This is a little insert that my friend Heather helped me sew. Heather is super clever, super smart, super artistic. What she's done here is she's created this flip down pocket. And the word laughter is on the outside. She's made a window. The word laughter is on the outside. And then the Spanish for laughter, la risa, which I believe I'm pronouncing correctly, in the inside. We've got a joker from a deck of cards. And then we have a little stack of papers that Heather has put together. Just random pieces. Another paint chip. I think there's probably some dictionary pages in here. More cardstock. Oh, that one has a little bit of music on it. And this is like directions on how to measure someone for a coat. I want to say that this advertisement came out of a 1908 reproduction of the Sears Roebuck catalog. I have a whole catalog like that, and I'm going to do something with that soon. It's calling my name. Right. This is a page that is partly finished. There's another scroll that I put in the book. Again, there's 12 of them. This paper, which is vintage, I just tied with this red piece of fabric. Show you the image. If I'm remembering correctly, this came out of a book celebrating operas. And I just love the colors in this. It was a very old book. The Mikado. I do believe that's the name of the opera. Someone could enlighten me on that. That would be wonderful. Please comment below. I'm just going to put this aside for now. Oh, another page that I probably spent an entire morning on. And actually, the pages that you're looking at right now, this is the top layer of probably 3 or 4 different layers. And I can't even remember what's under there. But what happened was I started out and I kept making mistakes, or I wasn't happy with something, and I just kept layering and layering and layering until I came out with this effect. And I'm very pleased with it. These are little good luck coins for Chinese New Year. We have a calendar page, and I colored this in, I believe, with acrylic pens. Lucky Divine. We got a little glam here. And a couple other little goodies. Another scroll that's kind of flattened, but that's okay. This came from a wedding invitation. And I just thought it looked really pretty with the the color story on this page. I'm very proud of this page. Again, this is more of that heavy fabric that I got at Salvation Army. And what I did here was I took a purple distress ink, and I used a brush and I applied it until I got this effect. And I just glued some lace and some flowers on there. We have a little note, Time by Pink Floyd. That's one of my favorite songs, and my family member really enjoys that song as well. Some paper flowers, a little to-do list. I've left it in this glassine bag, so she can take it out. She can use it as a to-do list if she likes. You will see these glassine bags show up in my other journals. You can do so many with these. You know, a lot of people just throw them out because they're like, oh, it's trash, it's garbage. But they make really fun things in these journals. Little windows to look through, etc. This is another little bit from that flashcard set. La Oración, prayer. Another postcard I made last summer from old wallpaper and scrapbook paper underneath it. They didn't come together, but I thought the color combo was just perfect. And there we go, the real postcard back. So she could send it just like this, or she could keep it. She could put it in a frame and stick it on her desk, whatever she likes. It's a perfect size for a 4x6 frame because it's the size of a postcard. Some more blank pages. Right. Little flower paper, glued on a couple other pieces of paper, little lace, little sewing at the bottom with a little zipper. I hope you can see it. More blank pages. Okay, we are down to the third section. I'm going to try to go a little faster so the video isn't too long. I thought about breaking this video up into 2 videos, but I really decided that I wanted to just do it all at once. So if you want to watch it in sections, that's fine. I won't be offended at all. This is the Discover section. Ooh, another favorite page. What I've done here is I took a plain piece of turquoise scrapbook paper and I glued it to the pages. Then I distressed around it with some distress ink. I decided that the trim on the edges of this page should definitely be chopsticks. And I am 99.9% sure that this is from Korea. These are from Korea. This clear page that is on top of the turquoise paper was just a clear page with some gold embossing on it that I think I got at Joann's. And what I've done is I rolled it up several times. I distressed it a little bit to make it look like an old lamp. Here's some more fun trim that I got from my stash. Little paper clip up here. Little flower, a little bit of lace. And I wrote on the bottom of this page, Discover Painting, because this is the Discover section. So I found the phrase to paint in my flashcard set, the word color, and this fun little sun mirror is kind of how I think about it. I believe that was from the Sherman Williams book as well. And now we have orange. I will tell you that of all the colors that I reach for when I'm making art, I very rarely work with orange. But what happened was my art table was so piled up one day, and I decided I was going to clean it. And all of a sudden, there was this little pocket of orange things. And I thought to myself, this is a collage. This is a 2-page spread. So we have another homemade postcard that I made. Can be sent in the mail. A little bit of felt, little fake orange leaf, a little tiny bee. More on bees later. I think I'm going to do an entire bee journal. Little charm there. This is a piece of, I think it's of an old scarf, some vintage buttons, some more of those scrolls. It looks like I put 4 of them on this page. I must have been really inspired by the orange that day. The orange kind of spills over onto the next page. I've listed another Pink Floyd song here. One of These Days, Pink Floyd. I'm often listening to Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin as I'm working in my art room. And so randomly, sometimes I'll just write the name of whatever song is on when I'm doing art that day. This was a page that I experimented on a little bit. I had taken some leaves off the trees outside of my house, and I had flattened them in a huge book. And then I dipped them in black permanent ink and kind of just used them to make a background. I couldn't decide where this page was going, so I decided that my family member could figure that out when I give it to her. It's another fake leaf. Another bit of fabric sample. Some more fun paint chips. Sometimes I'll put random ephemera in these things. This one happens to be for a headlamp. I had gotten headlamps at one point because I used them to read at night, so I wouldn't disturb my husband. This is a 2-page spread that I'm really happy with. This is an actual menu from a Chinese restaurant. This is a little boy. It's a double-sided card. It's fun. I have these amazing little pulls, and they are actually money envelopes, and they're always red and gold, and I think you could probably see the sparkle and shine on that if I hold it just right. And then what people do at Chinese New Year time, which was just recently, it's the year of the snake this year, people will place gifts of money or whatever in these envelopes and give them to each other, family and friends. And of course, I had to include a fortune from the fortune cookie. A surprising encounter will leave a lasting impact. So those are really fun. The other one on the other side is the same idea, but it has a different design. I think when I got these envelopes, there were 4 or 5 different designs. I will show you this side of the paper menu. I put a little pull up here. And I also have more of the menu here. And also, I don't want to reveal my location, but also inside here, there is a receipt from the delivery of the Chinese food that I was eating the day that I was working on this 2-page spread. Yes, this is the actual page I was working on when I got Chinese delivery. And it's kind of fun because it has the date and time stamped on the receipt. So my family member will remember that on that day and time, this was what I was working on for her. I think these trims are from an old shoelace or maybe a lanyard that you would wear a name badge with. This is a fun page. This is some paper that I got out of one of those collage soup books. I believe that this particular paper, which I just love, came out of the Stranger Than Fiction collage soup book. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what it looks like. You can get them off Amazon or you can go to collagesoup.com. They're basically just books that you can cut up and use in your collages. Really great stuff. They're done by Emily Stone, and she often has a collaborator. Little Fire Stick remote instructions in case you are ever in need of an extra one of those. These are little pulls that I made. They're kind of fun. I just have random images on the inside of aliens. Yes, aliens. The two on the outside are the same size, just little. The one in the middle I think is bigger. Oh yes, it's a bigger one. It's fun. This one I glued some lined paper so that she could write on it if she wants. Another page that started for her, map of the world. A real post stamp from somewhere in Europe. I think I got these in a Happy Meal. Somebody sent me a whole bunch of post stamps they didn't want anymore. This is another applique. She can sew it to a purse, or she can sew it on her jeans, or she can sew it wherever she wants, or she can just leave it as is. This is a fun little piece of vellum. I don't work with vellum a lot, but I happen to have this in my stash somehow. Probably someone sent it to me in a Happy Mail. It's just printed on vellum paper. The Beatles. Let's hear it for the Beatles. I recently rediscovered the Beatles, and I really like them. Another bit of that upholstery sample box. I glued it right to the page. I just wanted to see what would happen. And it actually does make this page a lot sturdier because it just thickens it up a little bit. This is a fun page. This has the Beautiful Dreamer song on it, famous song. I'm sure you've heard it. It's in a lot of movies. This was actually one huge sticker that I got out of the Antiquarian sticker book, which looks like this. This is a sticker book that I found on Amazon, and it's just full of all kinds of interesting creatures and vintage-like things. So this sticker was entirely filled in, and when I pulled the sticker out of the book, I thought I was getting this kind of Persian or Turkish rug. I'm not really sure what to call it. But as I was pulling it out, I saw that a bit of it started separating. And then I kept pulling it, and turns out there's this silhouette of this person in the middle of the sticker. And so that was a fun surprise for me. And so I went ahead and left the silhouette intact. She can leave it as is, or if she wants to, she can paint or stamp on it or do whatever she likes. That was a fun surprise for me, though, that day. This is my 2-page coffee spread. We have a Keurig instruction booklet, which she can make into whatever she likes. I consider this ephemera. It's kind of a little bit of our culture, time and place, right? We have Some postcard size things. This one I actually made into a postcard. This came out of a book all about coffee shops in New York City. Upside down there. So fun. These images are also from that same book about coffee shops in New York City. These aren't backed, but she can make them into postcards if she likes, or she can just leave them, or she can frame them if she wants to do that. Another little flashcard. What I've done here is one of the pages that I ripped out early on in the process, all I did was attach it here with glue to make a little pocket. This is another nice 2-page spread. You are here. Where are you? You are on Earth. This is some vintage map that I came upon from somewhere. I have no idea where it came from. A lot of goodies. We have some more flashcards. This is a fun little train card. I do not know how that ended up in my stash. Someone probably sent it to me in the mail. Trip checklist. Today will be epic. It's kind of a fun card. A little list. We have a glassine bag. This is a 1991 complete set of 5 stamp set from Russia. Well, it's from the Kenmore Stamp Company in Milford, New Hampshire, but it has the Zeppelins, and I was excited. This was a gift from someone to me because it was a full set, all 5 of these sort of commemorative stamps of all these different Zeppelins. Very fun, and I love these little glassine bags that they come in. I love the way they feel. I love the way they sound. So fun. All right. Some more goodies on this side. In the pocket, another scroll. Alex and Annie Take the Wheel. That was from a jewelry package. Somebody gave me a bracelet. Taking the Wheel, Beginnings, Guidance, and Journey. It's fun. This is a fun applique, a tropical fish. Another postcard that I made for her. I love this postcard. I can't remember where I got the image. I want to say it was in a magazine, and I just cut it out and glued it to a blank white postcard. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's an African proverb. Glued a little butterfly down here. I got this page out of a book called It's Never Too Late. This one says it's never too late to plant a tree on one side, and on the other side it says it's never too late to take a trip. Again, the vintage map, just trimmed it with some lace, glued everything down. Here's a whole bunch of stamps from all over the world. Let's see if I can see some of these countries. We have Czechoslovakia. We have Haiti, the Netherlands. We have Angola. Is that how you say that? And a couple other ones. Nevis. A little bit more of the started page. She can do whatever she wants. I'm very proud of this 2-page spread. I love the colors here. This is another wine label that someone sent me. I'm going to read this for you because I love it. We all have unique soundtracks to our lives. So free your spirit. Surrender to the rhythm. Let your mind chill. Let your heart rise. Music is what you make of it. It calms or raises passions. It transports, it recalls memories. And then a quote by Joseph Addison that says, "Music, the greatest good that mortals know, and all of heaven we have below." And I took this little bit. It's a magnet from one of those magnet sets where you can write poetry on your refrigerator. I had a million of these on my refrigerator at one point. You know, tiny little clothespins with flashcards that have to do with music and singing and dancing. I just thought they were perfect for this page. Pretty rose. I think that came in packaging. The front packaging of a scrapbook pad, maybe. This is a piece of wallpaper that I have made into a postcard. It's raised wallpaper, and it's got like kind of a velvet kind of feel to it. And then I distressed the edges just to make it look older. This is just some blank music score. Another magnet from the set. She also is a musician on top of doing all kinds of artwork and being an incredible baker. So I think she'll really enjoy this page. Some vintage buttons that I got from my stash. Some more trims. This is a little trim I wanted to show you, or a little bookmark I wanted to show you. It is a little silver globe. Picture of the world. Little earth charm. This I cut out of I think I cut it out of a magazine. And then I just added this frame. And I wrote Remember Orange because we are in the remembrance section. The Remember section. Wow, it's getting late. The Remember section. And this is just a little private little note regarding some memories that she and I share. This is an old instruction booklet from a camera that I had years ago. This is a real grape packaging from the grocery store. There's some more scrolls in there and some other little goodies. Thunder, Imagine Dragons. Thunder is quite possibly my favorite Imagine Dragons song. A special memory that I share with this person is going to an Imagine Dragons concert. And she really likes this song as well, so I included it here. A couple more blank pages with little things that she can do something with. This, someone else colored and sent it to me, I believe. And now we're down to the last section. Oh, I thought we were in the Remember section. Sorry. I guess this is the Remember section. The last section of the book. Time, Pink Floyd. Must be I was listening to that song again. This is a really fun page. This fabric was from a project that my grandmother and I were working on before she passed away. And these little fabric yo-yos, I think she called them, were ones that she made. So she actually stitched these herself, and I just glued them on here. And it's kind of fun because it has a little flip, so she can, you know, she can journal under there or do whatever she likes. Some more blank pages. I left quite a few blank pages at the end because I think it'll be easier for her to work on blank pages at the ends of the book. This is an artist trading card size piece of paper that I started. What I did was I made what is called a master board, which is basically a huge sheet of paper or wallpaper I often use. In this case, it was a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and it was pink and white. And then as it was a 12 by 12, I glued stuff all over it. And then I flipped it over and I started cutting it into artist trading card size, which is 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And then I do the fun reveal and I turn them over to see what I ended up with. It's just a really fun way to give yourself a surprise as you're making artist trading cards. If you don't know what an artist trading card is, I will try to remember to put it in the description below, or you can just Google it. Coming to the end now. This is a fun little thing from a planting set that was in my stash. This is a little pocket that I made, a corner pocket that I made out of a paper doily folded up. This is a little booklet I made. There is a private sentiment in here, so I'm only going to show you part of it. This came out of that sticker book that I showed you earlier. The private sentiment is inside this little bit of paper. Added button, so fun. This is just a blank card that was in my stash. A lot of people have blank cards and they don't know what to do with them, so they send them to me. It's a really pretty card. She can use it for whatever she likes. Again, is it someone's birthday? Does she want to encourage someone? Does she need a card for her mom for Mother's Day? Right? Very fun. Another 2-page spread that I'm super proud of. There's a lot of goodies in this one. We are down to the end. So let me just show you these last pages. This was special paper that was in my stash. I have no idea where it came from. We've got to have some bling. This is old wallpaper. I think there were at least 6 different coordinating wallpapers that I found in one book. And I just cut them into squares and put them together kind of as a collage. Glued down a little square piece of lace. Added a little vintage button. I think it's vintage, maybe. Then I had all these things stuffed in the pockets. Joined together. An old playing card, but it's very small. So it happens to be the 9 of clubs, but it's super small. I mean, just to give you a reference, it's kind of fun. I have a thing about orange kitties. You might get to meet my kitty one day. Sometimes he jumps up on my art table while I'm trying to film things. Right now he's napping. Sky, heavens, little seashell. This came out of someone's planner I cut up. It was from years ago. Another postcard, blank in this case. This is a blank card, but it's embossed. So it's like a design. Mandala, that's the word I'm looking for. It's kind of fun. She can color it or leave it as. It's fun to just touch it if you like to touch textures. This is a very special piece. This Afghan, this is a picture of the Afghan that my grandmother made me when I was in the 4th grade, which was many, many, many moons ago. One day I was inspired by the blanket and I took it out and I laid it on the living room floor and I just started taking all kinds of pictures of it. Thank you, Grandma. She's no longer with us, but this blanket is still in great shape and it's been everywhere with me in my many travels. Another blank postcard. Postcard size, sheet music. Another postcard I made with one of those white butterflies. This one has a little calendar section on the back. All right. Let's see, I don't think there's anything in the next couple pages. I left them blank for her. And then the back cover here at the end is just more of that lunar paper stapled with a pocket. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my channel. I do want to show you a couple of the special dangles. This is a little blank canvas made out of denim that she can paint or put stickers on or whatever. This is a hand of euchre, a perfect hand of euchre. And it happens to be of the suit of hearts. I also have a moon. You already saw the sun. There's a little flower. Just all kinds of fun things. The very last thing I want to do to close off this video is to do a shout out to one of my favorite YouTube artists. Her name is Tina, and her channel is called Shabbydabbydodah. She's an incredible artist, and she was one of the first YouTubers that I started watching when I got interested in making junk journals. I will put a link to one of her videos below in the discussion box. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take a few moments and do some self-care. The world needs you. Bye now.